Mama said don't talk to strangers. That's okay. We'll do it for you. Welcome to the Bar Talk Podcast, where we talk to interesting people doing interesting shit. Well, I've seen some of the stuff on your Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
I've been following for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've seen some other stuff like people lifting logs and rocks. And
Yeah, that's
strongman
stuff. So
stuff,
powerlifting's
right?
the big three: your squat, bench, and deadlift, right?
Okay, and they're like gym.
You
like
had a
equipment.
powerlifter here before. I can't remember his name. He's a super good dude. He has the coffee business as well.
Oh yeah.
He referees. I've helped him.
Curtis.
With Curtis. That's his
Yeah.
name. Really
Well, he
awesome
was
dude.
talking more about coffee that day and
Yeah.
bobsled. He was training for bobsled in the Olympics long ago. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bobsled training, and he was doing like throwing sports. That's what he was more into.
Okay.
Then he's done some lifting,
Yeah,
but we didn't
that's right.
talk much about the lifting.
Yeah,
He
he's
did
a high-level
little bit.
referee for
Yeah.
powerlifting.
Yeah. He sponsors some of the events, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's the
You
name
can
of the
tell he
coffee.
trains, though. I mean, it's not.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the eye,
Yeah,
te-
he's
the eye
big.
test.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great dude. But yeah, so powerlifting's the big three. You have your squat, bench, and deadlift. We pretty much don't squat. I've done one. My first competition, we did a squat. It's called a buffalo bar. So it's like, it has a sharp bend to it. So it wobbles your posterior chain a little more. But we have deadlifts, different variations. of
Deadlift, so that's just like from the ground up to the
Yep,
waist.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we have, like, for example, we have deadlift ladders. So you'll have a setup of 4 or 5 different types of deadlifts. So you'll have like an axle bar, which is like as big as your or my wrist sort of thing. You'll pull that up. It's kind of harder to grip. Most people use
'cause
straps, but some people don't.
Yeah.
You'll have a stiff bar, which is like your typical bar somebody'd using on a bench press or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll have a deadlift bar, which is a really bendy one. So you have to
Okay.
learn how to like pull the slack out of it. So if you pull it too quick, it almost wants to yank you back down.
That wouldn't end well.
Yeah. have you ever seen a hex bar or like a trap bar before?
With a pipe and the grips?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
what that is?
pretty
Yeah,
much what it is.
okay.
Yeah, so that's another
Yeah.
one you'll do. So you can
Okay.
handle a lot more weight on those. So they'll normally
Why
just,
is that?
it's just the neutral grip kind of thing. You can almost squat it up. Whereas a deadlift, your setups, it's a lot different to get it with a conventional deadlift. So you'll have like a ladder. So it has the same concept that powerlifting would have, a deadlift, but you have different variations. So you do a ladder, and it's just a little more taxing. Your nervous system gets a little more shock. It's more cardio. You know. You'll have stones. Have you ever seen the Atlas stones?
Oh,
before?
yeah. I saw a
That's-
picture of you. I was looking on your Instagram today. It's a great big friggin'
Yeah, they're pretty
stone.
cool. Yeah.
Is that like
cool one to
concrete or is it
watch.
stone? What
that's,
is that?
That's concrete. Yeah.
Concrete.
You
Holy
get a
shit.
mold and you'll make them. Yeah. Yeah.
That's some DIY stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You kind of have to do a lot of that stuff
Yeah.
to train. You have to gear up your own stuff.
And I
You
seen
have to
one of
make
your
your
things.
own Atlas stones. Then. You have to,
What's that?
You have to make your own,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I have 5 or 6 of them at home. Yeah. And you have
5 or 6 different weights.
Yep.
So you just work your way up.
Yep, exactly. I mean, and you use stuff called tacky. It's basically
Okay.
like sort of like sap in a way. And you put it on your wrist and your hands. You can grip them a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Some people like to be heroes and train without it, and they use biceps pretty easy. You'll rupture a bicep if you don't use this tacky stuff just by squeezing it. Yeah,
Injuries with this stuff must be insane.
they are. I've had some.
Yeah. Oh, I
Nothing
imagine.
too crazy, actually.
Yeah. And like, excuse me asking, but how roughly old are you?
I'm 37.
37.
Yeah, I'm 37.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and how long you been doing this?
since the end of 2022.
Oh, wow. So not very long.
You know, yeah. No,
But you've always been in the gym and doing stuff.
yeah, I've
right?
always been in the gym, for
Yeah.
sure. And I've always been sort of strong, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize my potential.
So what was it that sparked this big new change?
So I always watched the sport
Okay.
closely since I was a kid. On Christmas, I don't know if
Really?
you remember seeing it on TV.
No.
See dudes pulling trucks and lifting the stones and
yeah.
logs and stuff, right?
That's
Everyone.
I don't know if that was here, but definitely back in Europe, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
same
seeing
thing
some
for
of that
us
stuff.
on Christmas. We would always see it too, right?
Huh.
So I used to watch it, and I became obsessed with it. And have you heard of a character called Eddie Hall?
Oh, yeah. I've heard the name.
So
yeah.
he kind of reeled me in because he was so statically strong in his character, and he kind of built up from humble beginnings to where he ended up being at the top. So I followed him, and it was really inspiring. And in 2020, I ruptured my bicep really bad in training. Ooh. So I had to stop training. And I had a home gym during COVID that other people were coming and training at, and I couldn't.
Wow.
So it was just that. It was frustrating.
So now they have to do surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had
it's
it. I had it reattached. You can see the big dip in there, right?
I remember listening to a podcast about The Undertaker,
Yeah.
and he ripped a bicep, and it took he's a big dude. Undertaker's
yeah.
taller than me. He's giant.
Oh yeah.
And they had to have the clamps, and it took 2 or 3 guys to pull pull it down into place,
Jesus.
sew it back together.
Yeah,
He's
'cause
telling the story.
If you break the tendon, it kind of retracts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it depends if you rupture it at the top or the bottom too.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what was what, but it
Yeah.
did not sound good.
No.
These guys have put themselves through a lot.
Yeah, that's a totally different story.
He's
Wrestling's
had
nuts.
broken eye sockets but any of that high performance stuff, like you're pushing your body to beyond the limits, right?
You can't I'm probably not strong enough to rupture a bicep, right?
Oh yes, you are.
Think?
Oh,
do it
for
wrong.
Yeah.
How wrong would I have to do it?
Yeah, let's try. Yeah, so you'll have stones are one of the events that we'll do. You have to kind of create your own, and it's normally over an ascending height or descending height. So it's lowest to highest or highest to lowest sort of thing.
Wow.
So if it's a high height, most generally it's a lower weight, which would be like lower would be like 275 pounds. And
275
higher
pounds.
be closer to 400.
Yeah.
You know, most people aren't moving that very comfortably, and I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
So that's a tough event for a short dude,
bet.
right? And we have fellas as tall as you.
I
that are
bet,
in the
yeah,
sport,
it's different.
Right? So that's one of the events that we'll have. You'll have throwing events, for example. Have you seen videos where I throw the sandbag over
the
bar?
sandbags over the bar. Yeah.
That's very technical, that one.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
so
there's strength
technical.
and there's a lot of technique in there.
Well, I
involved
lost
in it.
nationals last year because I didn't master that.
Oh,
I
okay.
lost a lot of points.
Wow.
So I mastered it this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've won a bunch of shit lately, right?
Yeah, I've won everything this year.
So
Yeah.
tell us, in what, like provincial or?
So yeah, first I won Nova Scotia Strongest Man. This is my third year.
And is there like categories?
Yeah,
like
there are.
weight categories.
Yeah, so I'm the 105 kilo category, 231, which is, I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's the toughest division for sure.
It's like, yeah,
It's the
seems
most
like it would be a
athletic,
pretty-
big, strong guys, right?
Yeah.
So if you get above that, some fellas are stronger, but it's slower, a little more lethargic when you watch them compete.
Yeah.
But for us, it's really deep. Nobody wants to be in that division. So I failed a couple of times at the top, so I just wasn't okay with that.
You
and I
mean
wasn't
other
gonna
years?
move. Yep, the last 2 years when I
Last
got to
2 years.
nationals.
That's pretty quick to get to the top.
It is.
For just starting a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know, for
That's
sure.
impressive.
But I mean, it seems quick, but when you're preparing for it, it certainly doesn't feel quick.
Oh, yeah.
When it's 2.5 years straight.
Yeah.
Now, in hindsight, it is quick.
Yeah.
For sure. But you go through a lot to get there. You sacrifice a lot to get there, right?
Wow. So name that one you just said. It was Nova Scotia Strongman.
Yep.
In the
105 kilo.
105 kilo.
Yep. And then I did Atlantic Canada Strongest.
Wow.
In the same division. It's the
Yeah.
same. And then I did nationals.
You won that?
Yep.
And then you went to nationals?
And I won that. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So now I've got my pro card.
Wow.
Yeah. So next is the Arnold as
Wow.
pro. So that's gonna be cool.
Wow. So where is that and when?
That's in Ohio, and that's going to be February 27th till March 2nd.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's the whole festival. I'm sure you know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is.
Oh,
Like
yeah, I
everyone-
know.
Yeah, everyone in the world knows who that guy is, right?
He's done all right.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah, he's done all right because you can't really do that kind of lifting forever.
No.
Like you got to leverage that kind of, the fame, the attention, but also just the work ethic. You
For
put that
sure.
work ethic into acting and into politics
he's the
and a
perfect
whole bunch of
example.
other things. Yeah.
He's the
he's a
perfect
hard
example.
worker.
Well, he was wealthy before he ever became an actor at all, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So-
Oh,
I
yeah,
suppose,
he
yeah.
was. He was the governor
Yeah.
of California. That's
Yeah.
insane in itself.
Certainly not
Movie
lazy.
star.
Because you cannot be
No.
lazy you can't be lazy and excel at anything.
No, you
Anyone
really can't.
who excels at anything has got to put a lot of work in.
Yeah, he's always the hardest worker in the room,
Yeah.
Arnold, for sure. He's the example.
I didn't read his autobiography. You must have.
Oh,
Have you?
yeah, for sure.
There's a story about him like running up a hill or something till he passes out, or
Yeah,
working out till he passes out like
all
every
the
day.
time. He'd work out 5 hours a day.
Unreal.
People today wouldn't recommend it for
No.
sure. Not in like a bodybuilding sort of setting, but yeah, I certainly wouldn't recommend it. But I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. So who the hell am I, right? So with our sport, you do need that long.
the science of all that stuff has changed a lot in
Big time.
Since he was in the 70s, right?
He was the 70s. Yeah.
70s, yeah. And then it started all through the 80s and 90s.
Realistically, it's improved drastically since then. Just the physique. Again, I'm not a bodybuilder, but it's just crazy how much it's evolved.
Yeah.
Same as powerlifting, same as strongman. But I would say bodybuilding's the most obvious one. Just the eye test, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing seeing the differences, the way these guys have developed over the years, right?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There was some big bodybuilding stuff in the last few weeks, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Olympia just happened
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that was at the same time as nationals, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it as closely as I wanted to. But
Yeah.
just kind of looked at the results.
It's impressive.
Oh,
It's very impressive.
It is. It's not for me.
No,
I don't
yeah.
look that good in underwear, so yeah, I don't have it.
Well, I mean, you're doing what you love.
That's right.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool that you saw something as a kid
Yeah.
and you were just fascinated with it, and you didn't really get into it until your mid-30s.
That's right, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool how it started. In 2022, when I actually started and did Nova Scotia Strongest for the first time, I did it on 9 days' notice.
Wow.
So there was a fella named Mark Lachance from Ontario. He's a military fella as well.
Okay.
He won Ontario's Strongest Man. And there was a big post on the Canadian Forces national website. And I was like, what? This guy actually does strongman and he won. That's a big deal to me, right? So I send him a message and congratulate him.
Yeah.
And he looks at myself. He's like, you're a pretty strong looking guy, right? Like, why don't you try it? I was like, that's not for me. He's like, I know the guys from Nova Scotia. You should do their competition. It's very soon. And they didn't have many guys in the division, but they were good. And he recommended that I do it. So I reached out, jumped in, and I won on 9 days' notice. And really, it was pretty sloppy. Like, it was pretty sloppy, but I got it done just by grit.
Awesome.
So I qualified for nationals, which were 3 months later, and I worked my ass off for 3 months, covered as much ground as I could. And I showed up and I did okay, but when you don't know what the hell you're doing, realistically, you're going to go so far. But I got top 10 in my first year in a tough division of like 30 guys.
Well,
so that was motivating for me. So I went back, figured out what to work on. Then I competed in PEI at a competition called Clash and competed against a guy who's a pro now who won nationals last year, and I ended up beating him in that competition. So I knew that I belonged there anyway. Then Nova Scotia Strongest Man after that, I won pretty convincingly. Then I went to nationals again, I went to Atlantics. I got third there. I made a lot of mistakes, technical errors.
okay.
Then went to nationals and did really well and got top 5. So I knew that it's winnable after that. And so I just made the decision then, I'm not fucking losing anything after that. And this year was perfect. So.
You just found a new gear.
Yeah, it's true. It was just mindset.
Yeah.
It's your mindset is the biggest difference.
And what is that? How did you get, like, how did you change your mindset? And I'm sure that would apply to
Anything.
anything.
To absolutely anything, yeah. So I've always excelled in a lot of things, but your mindset is what will have you fail at the top. And I've always done well. I excel quickly.
Like sports psychology is a huge
That's exactly
thing,
what I did.
right?
I spoke to a psychologist.
Okay, cool.
And we worked on it extensively, and it worked. It really worked with grounding and just enjoying the moment, breathing, feeling your body, just trying not to get so caught up in the moment. And I started to just mentally rehearse things the week prior. So I'd done this competition 1,000 times in my head, and it just took the stress out of it. So when I'd walk into an arena, I'd already mentally been there, and it wasn't so uncomfortable. So I felt like I belonged there. And as soon as I'd walk into an event, I'd mentally gone through it several times in my mind. I didn't make mental errors because I'd been there so many times. And if I got anxious, I'd just stop and gather myself and go through the things that we discussed, and it worked.
Wow.
Yeah, it worked.
And you've got to have a huge amount of mental strength before that, just to put in the work,
The training
to get
sucks.
up and get into the gym and all that
It's
stuff
5
every
hours.
day.
Every time, 5 hours.
What is? Going to the gym?
Training.
Training every
5
day.
hours every single
Every day?
time. Not every day. No.
No, because you need some recovery time.
Yeah, certainly not every day. So you're scheduled to 4 program days a week.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to keep the pumped up look, so I throw in an extra day of just accessory stuff.
Yeah.
But it made it hard to recover, but
bet.
worth it.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, it was tough. This year at Nationals was brutal. I was very ready for every event, but I made a big error. Actually, I looked like a knob. There was a log ladder, the first event, and I was zipping through these weights in training.
What's a log ladder?
So basically, you had to do 3 different presses with the logs. You press it,
Okay.
put it down, they'd throw an extra 10 on each side, so it started at 275, 295, 315, or whatever.
Okay.
And that was butter in training. It was no problem. I would just do 3 reps with 315, so it wasn't an issue. But I saw these guys with the Randy Savage sunglasses on there, whatever they are, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, a bunch of sporty spices here, right? So I was chuckling to myself. And I go and pick up the log, and I clean it, and I look up, fluorescent lights in the ceiling. Oh. It's like a cop putting a flashlight in your eyes.
They had experience with that.
Yeah. And I ate my words pretty quick, right? I didn't say anything out loud to anybody, right? But I was just like, these guys look silly. But anyway, that was a mistake right off the bat.
I saw on your Instagram story today there was some inspiring words from Randy Macho Man Savage.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Well, look at me.
90s kids.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows. Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
I remember being so crushed when I was about 14 when I realized it was all bullshit.
Choreographed. It's choreographed. I mean, find a sport where they don't beat the shit out of their bodies more than those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's choreographed.
It's like it's a show though. It's like it's
it's
not meant
entertainment.
to be
Sure.
real. It's like a theater thing, right? But with like guys who actually throw each other around.
It's crazy how invested people, myself included. You remember those promos?
Oh yeah, I was that kid.
Yeah, the
I was
cream of
that
the
kid.
crop.
Oh man,
Yeah.
It was like the Ultimate Warrior.
That's the craziest. He was so gone.
He was so crazy. They must have been so many drugs in that.
You don't say. Yeah, you don't say. Yeah,
I think there's a documentary on Netflix now about Vince McMahon. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
I haven't seen it yet.
Really?
No, I gotta watch
I'm
it.
not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah, don't
you
spoil
should watch it.
Some
100%.
crazy shit happens in that world, I'm sure.
You've kind of heard about.
Oh
him,
yeah,
right?
some crazy stuff.
Yeah. It goes into that at the end too.
But that would make the steroid use and the drug use, and there's so like the overdoses, and so many of those guys, their bodies are just ruined. Now, even
Painkillers and
bodybuilders,
stuff.
guys
Oh, yeah.
like,
Well,
was
they're
it Ron?
dying young.
Was it Ron Coleman?
Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie
yeah.
Coleman, his spine's all fused.
It's crazy.
Barely
Yeah,
get
I know.
around.
He never complains either.
Man.
It's wild. And you'll ask him if he has any regrets in the sport. And, well, he's notorious for a 800-pound squat and 800-pound deadlift. And his only regret's not squatting it for 5 reps instead of 2. He's crippled. Like, it's all he ever says.
Oh yeah, it's a mess.
What a crazy mindset, eh?
But I do think that like the healthcare and the technology to help with those things are way different now than they were then.
They are, for
'Cause
sure.
when was he big? Like in the 80s?
It'd be after that,
After
90s and
90s,
early
yeah.
2000s, yeah.
Yeah, they were real quick to fuse spines
Yeah.
and stuff like
he
that.
was
back then.
something, eh?
Yeah.
It's nuts. Just look at his old training videos. It doesn't look like a human being.
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like the people that do this kind of stuff are made of a different shit.
Oh, yeah.
Different kind of people.
Especially him.
Yeah.
Eating whatever he wants, poutines and whatever, like candy
Yeah.
all the time. He still
Wow.
looked like an anatomy chart, this guy. Is
Wow.
nuts. Yeah.
So how much is well, that's probably it. We got so many questions. I'm getting tangled up here. So the psychological part of it
Yeah.
was huge.
Biggest for me, by
You,
far.
you actually found someone to help you with that.
Yeah, definitely.
To, like just focus
Yep.
and stuff like that. I think there's so much that we can learn from just everyday life
Yeah.
about mindset.
For
Because
sure.
I think that I don't know myself. I think I ruin myself sometimes just by the thought patterns. You know, like the
Most people do.
negativity, like focusing on the failures, focusing on the misses
true.
rather than the wins and stuff like that.
I had a really, really good basketball coach when I was young.
Okay.
A guy named Paul Schaffner. And he used to have just really insightful advice. Something he used to say to me all the time was never waste a loss. You can take that many directions, but it's just they should motivate you. You should never let yourself go into just into a rut. And if you never waste a loss, which I certainly don't, he just used as fuel to improve and get better for the next time.
Yeah.
You can go a long way with it. And that's how I ended up winning this year. It was just fuel from losing last year.
Yeah.
You should see my gym. You should see the amount of shit written everywhere. I had guys that beat me last year, and their names were written in my gym, and I'd look at them every day. And I had their
Haunts
number.
you a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't wait to
Little
get
fuel
them.
in the tank.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to get them back. Just a little bit of healthy revenge. You know?
Yeah.
There's something about strongman is it's a super inclusive, friendly sport too.
Yeah. Well,
Bunch of
that's
really
nice.
alpha dudes that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
love each other and they want you to be at your best and
Yeah.
beat you at your best.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat in that
That's
way. I think a
cool.
lot
And
of
I
sports aren't like that.
And I like that it's very, like there's not a lot of room for like judging or stuff like that, right? Like it's very decisive. You did it or you didn't.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what I like about it. It's and you know what? Something I should probably mention: the difference maker is a coach. If you don't have a coach, you're going to be screwed.
Well, that was another question I had for you. So you say you're doing things sloppy the first couple
Yes.
goes at it,
Yeah.
and then you're getting your mindset secured. But how do you learn to do these things more technical?
So
There must be people around here that you could draw on.
So I went to a fellow named Josh Dunbar. He has a business called New Scotland Strength.
Okay, yeah.
He's an amazing
Seen him
coach.
online, yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
He's the difference maker for me technique wise. But I used to get ahead of myself. So I'm really strong. When I train, anytime I train I can squat 650 if I want, bench 440, whatever, it doesn't matter. Overhead 300. But if you do that every time, you can do that a couple of times and then you're crippled. You
Right.
can't do anything. And then
Right.
when it's time to peak for a competition, you don't know what went wrong.
Right.
So you have a coach that'll program you and they keep you reeled in. So you gradually increase your weight loads. And it's more so to save your body.
Yeah.
And you can tax your nervous system by going heavy all the time, right? And this guy, he set me up really well. It takes the pressure off of you trying to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're already focused mentally on this competition coming up, because they're high stakes if you want to win, regardless of what level of competition it is, if you want to win, you get anxious,
Yeah.
It removes that element altogether when you have a coach. And this guy, he was the difference maker for me.
Yeah, because I mean the fundamentals, like just the mechanics and all that stuff, is going to make you perform better, but it's also probably going to keep you safer.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do some pretty unsafe stuff in training.
And strong. Okay. Men in general.
Yeah.
Big tough guy. There's ego involved, and we like to show off and do shit. Like I popped a vertebrae in my back when I was in my 30s just because I could lift shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm just showing off, lifting washing machines and stupid shit like that.
For sure.
And I had to lay down on the bed to put my socks on for 2 years.
What?
Yeah. Oh, it was bad. I had bulged a disc. my leg was I was really messed up. I couldn't bend my back for. I didn't bend my lower spine until like from my early 30s till like my mid 40s.
From injuries?
I just kept like a very exaggerated. Yeah, I kept a very exaggerated spine, like straight spine.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do surgery, but I avoided that with massage and a bunch of different things, acupuncture, stuff like that. And then the yoga really helped get me loosened up. And now I'm like way more flexible than I was in my 20s.
Yoga is humbling.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Man, is it humbling?
You must do a lot of stretching.
I do a lot of stretching.
Yeah.
I didn't do enough before.
Yeah.
But I do now, as much as I can.
As we age, you learn that stuff.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Ben too.
You doing yoga now, or?
Oh yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, about 4 times a week, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that's, in my opinion, I find that more challenging than my training.
Oh, it's hard.
Oh,
I did
suck at it.
P90X years ago, and you ever remember the P90X
Oh, I sure
training
do.
thing?
Yeah.
I would do that, and it was so hard. And I remember thinking, oh, yoga day's coming up on Sunday. That'll be easy.
Yeah.
What a mistake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was the hardest.
Yeah.
It was 90 minutes of yoga, like holding it. Because to look at it, it doesn't look like you're doing shit. It just looks like you're just standing there or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
to hold those poses, that was friggin' hard.
Have you done a yoga class before?
Yeah.
All these little 90-pound women just beasting you like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. They see me coming and
Something
laugh.
like-
Like, oh, look at this SpongeBob SquarePants.
But it's probably so important for you to avoid injury.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the recovery is big for me too, right?
Yeah.
And nutrition, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I get lots of protein in it. I eat whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Realistically,
I'm sure
in
you
this
can.
sport, you get, until you have to cut. That's a different story.
So you got to cut to make the weight for the category.
Yes, exactly. So I compete at 231, but I'm closer to 240.
Okay.
So to get there, there's a little bit of a process.
Still like a 24-hour out from competition kind
Yeah.
of? Yeah.
It's the best is once you make weight, you just eat.
Eat.
You just eat. It's the best. And that's a process too, actually.
Yeah.
You can screw that up and spike
Oh, there's
your
so much
insulin too
science
fast,
with,
right?
I suppose.
And I do a
Dehydration
water cut.
as well, too,
That's
because
right.
you're probably losing a lot of water weight
That's right.
leading up
Well, that's
to.
exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
You reduce your calories as much as you can, but then you still have 6 pounds of water. And I'm like a pretty lean guy.
Yeah.
6 pounds of water. A lot of that comes from your organs and
Yeah.
your brain and stuff.
It's
right?
not safe. I don't understand.
Of course
why
it's
people
not.
do that. And then like lifting is
Yeah.
one thing, but the people that jump into a ring and fight like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's
I
insane.
don't understand.
And they cut way more than 6,
They
10
shouldn't.
pounds. Oh, I know.
Just whatever they're walking around weight. That's
do
what they should
you remember a
jump
fighter named Anthony Rumble Johnson?
in. I've heard the name, but I don't.
He used to cut 30 pounds
Unreal.
every time of water. He would cut 30 pounds.
He'd be a skeleton.
Doesn't sound safe at all.
No,
No.
not at all. And then he'd be
No.
completely screwed when it was time for him to actually, fight.
That's a whole other level of discipline too.
Oh, yeah. And then he went up 2 weight classes from there and still used to miss weight. He was too big for that division. And he went up 30 pounds. It was nuts.
So the diet, you must. Do you weigh it all out, or you just
No, I don't weigh it.
put in
I'm
as
pretty
much
good
as you
at
can?
I used to, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty good with my eyeballing of
Now.
my stuff now. Yeah.
But I think that's something that I realized. I didn't realize how I was starving myself probably a year and a half ago. I've said
Yeah.
it on here before, but I thought because I ate kind of healthy food
Yeah.
and I wasn't fat, I thought I was all right.
We were a big guy with a lot of muscle.
Yeah, but
That's
I
the
wasn't.
difference,
I was
right?
only doing about 1,200 calories a day. Like during
What? Were you
COVID,
6'4", 6'5"?
almost 6'6", I'm like 6'5" and a half. But I'm running the restaurant, and I'm working 80 hours a week, and I'm stressed out, and my kitchen staff is busy, so I didn't want to bother them to cook me stuff. I'd eat when I get home at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just not putting away enough calories, and I'm getting my joints are
That's
sore.
number one. That's something.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
into.
my muscles and joints were aching, and I had a little belly, and I was just skinny and miserable,
Yeah.
and sunken eyes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was not good at all.
No, that's not.
Yeah, and then my partner at the time, she was doing more fitness stuff, and she got the app, and she's like half my size, and she's eating like way more than me. I'm like, whoa, I think I'm
Yeah,
So
you need to be for sure
so-
double what you're
yeah.
easily.
Oh, triple. So I got the app, and the First Form. It's a great app. It's probably something that you could recommend too. And I think not anybody, just anybody should do this. Just have
absolutely.
talk with the nutrition, count your macros.
Yeah.
A lot of us aren't getting enough
At least
protein.
learn.
We're
Just
not getting
learn.
enough water.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't have to do it
Electrolytes.
forever, but electrolytes,
Those are a
stuff like
big
that.
thing.
Maybe reduce the sugar and the carbs, just
Yep.
kind of get a balance. I mean, I weighed all my stuff out for probably a year.
With your sugar and carbs, you just need to kind of time it correctly,
Yeah.
right? It depends what you're doing that day. If you're going to use your carbs as fuel, have at her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But my muscles couldn't rebuild, and I was working in the brewery and working here and trying to work out
yeah, you're
on
flying
not
too
enough
close to the sun.
calories,
Yeah.
and they put me on 3,900 calories. And I gained
That's hard, eh?
20. Oh yeah, it was very
tough.
hard at first.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had to. It was really hard to do. Mostly protein and fats and a little bit of carbs.
Yep.
And almost no sugar. But I gained 20 pounds, all muscle. I'm
Yep.
more. The aches and pains went away. I'm
They'd
more
be completely
flexible.
gone, probably. your aches
Completely
and
gone.
pains.
Yeah. I felt 15 years younger.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I didn't realize I was literally starving myself.
Oh yeah,
And there's some people that are probably eating too many calories, but they're eating too many of the wrong calories
that's right.
too.
And eating them all at the same time. That's a big
Yeah.
difference too. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I like to always have about 4,000,
Yeah.
but some days I like to train in a deficit.
Okay.
So I'll do it for a couple of sessions in a row, and it's brutal. So when I'm actually in a surplus, I feel amazing.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, so I also do a water cut. So when I'm prepping, once every 10 days, I'll do a mini water cut, just so I have to rehydrate and stuff and go through the process. So when I actually compete,
Practicing for
yes.
cutting? Okay.
Yeah. So my body's kind of used to it.
Huh.
So yeah, it sucks though. Everyone wants to just do it once, but
Dehydration's not good for us.
no, it's not. It really isn't. But it's pretty easy if you manipulate your electrolytes, though.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, right? So
Okay.
for me, it was hard as hell my first nationals. I took some bad advice from somebody, and they told me, the guys, they're enormous. You've got to get huge. I'm like, what's huge? I'm like, well, at the time I was around 230, a natural 230 guy in the division, right? The right size. So you're going to want to be about 20 plus pounds more than that. I'm 5'9". You're going to be a fridge if you're 250 something. You're not going to be very quick, right?
Yeah.
So I took that advice and I jumped up to 253, and I didn't know how to do a water cut at all. So I went to Thunder Bay for my first strongman nationals and had to cut 22 and a half pounds in 46 hours, and I didn't water load, didn't cut my electrolytes, carbs, anything. So I just suffered without water loading, and I was pretty screwed.
And you're traveling and you're in a different
Yeah,
place.
it was
and-
just dumb.
Yeah, that would be hard.
It was dumb, and a little bit of cramping, and then once I made weight, somehow I made weight. I cut straight for 46 hours, no break, no sleep, no food, no anything, just kept cutting, and I ended up competing. So I make weight, then I eat, I get back up to 250 of eating bullshit, like a whole pizza and chugging Pedialyte all day,
Like the Rock's cheat day.
Yeah, exactly, and just like I was a bloaty mess. I just was not in a good place. Everything was cramping.
Yeah.
I've never felt worse. And the next day I showed up for my competition and tried to be the strongest I've ever been. I knew there's a learning curve after that. I wasn't going to do much better anyway at that time. I was very new, but I knew that I had to learn that process before I could be competitive.
So much.
There is.
So many balls in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the physical is not even the biggest part of it. There's the physical,
No.
there's the mental discipline, there's just the experience and knowledge and
Well, the experience, you can't really replace that.
No.
That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
You feel much more comfortable going through the process if you've done it before.
yeah,
And I mean, I've done it. Well, I've won nationals in my 9th competition.
that's pretty good.
So yeah,
And you're
but-
at this sweet spot where you're like still young enough to be healthy and strong.
Yeah, that's right.
But old enough to have built this experience.
Yeah,
And-
old enough to not want to do this much longer either, though.
I bet.
I mean, it's dangerous, So
Yeah.
I get to compete as a pro. If I didn't win this year, I probably wasn't going to do it again.
Really?
You can just feel your body's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
So now that I can be on a pro stage, it's kind of worth doing it one more time, right? Mm-hmm. Especially going to the Arnold.
Yeah. Well,
that's
you're not going to
pretty
say
cool.
no, thank you.
No, definitely not. And I mean, it's good to just have another goal. It's a huge goal. And the truth is, if you win nationals, you belong there. You definitely belong there.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've watched the Arnold and I size those guys up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can compete with those guys.
That's good.
You just have to be on your game, your A game. So that's my plan, is to prep correctly for it.
suppose.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
amazing.
stoked.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you watch because we were talking a little bit, did you watch the episode with,
Guy that lost 180 pounds.
yes, 185
That's
pounds.
insane.
What's his name? Luke Babin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that kid
Man, he looks good.
He does.
He looks awesome.
He does, yeah. He went to Toronto for the summer shred or something like that,
Yeah.
and came in third place in the biggest transformation category. Like unreal.
Simon, the guy that motivated him,
Yeah.
who sent him a message, he used to be one of the 3 co-owners of Strongman Corp
Really?
Canada.
Cool.
Yeah, and then he transitioned. He was really heavy,
Yeah.
really overweight. He started training strongman a little, but he just didn't like the way he looked in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So he switched over to this, was it the summer shred or whatever it was? He looks like an anatomy chart now.
Yeah.
He must have lost 150 pounds himself, I would say. And he reached out to a buddy we were talking about.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So yeah, I know that guy pretty well. We message back and forth
that's
quite
cool.
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So the discipline, it impresses me when people can find the discipline to do things like that, to do what you're doing and like what Luke has done, and anybody that does excels at stuff. It's just, you got to really want that shit.
Yeah, for sure. Anything though.
Anything.
Anything, you know.
Yeah.
But what Luke did is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. With a smile on his face, he's like,
Oh, he's such a sweet kid.
yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it stressed him out much either.
Yeah.
He just wanted it, so
Just
he
want it,
just fell into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you have to do.
And that would there'd be so much mental part of that too. 'Cause
Yeah,
it'd be
for
so
sure.
easy. It's so easy to give up on ourselves sometimes.
That's
And whatever we're doing.
That's right, yeah.
Whatever we're doing.
Have you heard of a fella named Grant Connors?
No.
So he's like strongman royalty from Atlantic, Canada. He's competed at World's Strongest Man, this enormous monster of a man. He's succeeded in every element of the sport you could ever imagine, but his body started to fail him. He's closer to 50 years old, and you just see this guy go through the process of having to downsize now. It's a different story when it's someone who is really fat and decided to become healthy. When you look like a god and you have to become human now.
Yeah.
I'm watching Grant go through that process, and he's just like, everybody loves this guy. Everyone respects this guy.
He's handling it okay?
It's unbelievable how he's handling it. He's had some medical stuff, and you'd never know because he looks incredible, and he's just strong. He reaches out and he motivates guys in the sport. You know, he's an ambassador, and you watch this guy go through the process of, he's never going to look like a normal dude. He's always going to be a monster.
Oh, yeah.
You watch this guy going 310 pounds and 5'11", like looks like he's got football pads on, to going down to 230 is what he's trying to do or something. I don't know if it'll happen, but you watch him go through this process, and it's just a different mind game than what we're talking with him at the summer shred there, right? It's pretty neat.
So then how does someone like him, or even like yourself, as you're kind of reaching your peak, you know, once your experience and your youthfulness kind of reach that sweet spot, what's after that? Coaching.
That's I want to bring somebody up that's better than I was.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. You got to make it better than it was when you got there. I'm from this area. I wasn't supposed to win. Not at 37. I wasn't supposed to become a pro at 37, but I did. Imagine you find some 21-year-old.
Yeah,
you motivate him
just
and get him started.
Naturally gifted.
Exactly, and you can tap into their mindset and teach them the stuff that you had to learn.
That's
and
pretty cool.
You can expedite that process for them.
Yeah,
there's some kids I have in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A kid named Noah Banks. Remember that name.
Okay, we'll remember that name.
Yeah, he's going to be the one.
Maybe you'll have to bring him in sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do on the base?
So I'm an AVN tech.
In tech, what is that?
An aviation systems technician.
Okay.
So I fix planes.
Okay.
That's what I do,
like all parts of the planes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it'd be like flight controls, engines, instrumentation, landing gear systems, pressurization, environmental, all that stuff. So,
and the Air Force, I mean, any Armed Forces guys usually retire pretty young.
They do,
right?
yeah. So I'm like 8 years away if I want to.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I do. I still enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good that you like the day job.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And they're super supportive with what I'm doing.
Oh, that's great.
That's nice.
Well, and they should be,
yeah.
really. I mean, you're making a name for yourself. You're making a name for the community. You're,
Yeah, for sure.
showing Canada's excellence and things. I always think we should be.
Is it beneficial to the work to be able to lift more stuff?
I would say
course.
so. I mean,
They get you when they need heavy things
truth be
lifted.
told, I'm a sergeant, so I kind of work at a desk a little more than I wish I did.
But you could carry that desk if you need to.
Yeah, for sure I could. Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever they need something heavy lifting, they come to you, I assume.
Well, yeah, 100%.
They're ordered to.
Yeah, exactly. Go get it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when is the big Arnold Arnold?
So it's the Arnold Sports Festival is February 27th till March 2nd.
Wow, that's long.
It is, yeah. I only compete 2 of those days.
Okay.
I'm not sure of the order yet or the events. I just know it's
really
really heavy.
Really heavy.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's what's fun.
they don't let you know ahead of time?
They do, but it's still a little ways away.
Oh, okay, but they don't
yeah.
let you know this far ahead of time.
Yeah, so first they tell you what the events are, and they don't tell you the weights or the order of the events.
Okay.
So you kind of have to figure it out for yourself.
And they just mix it all the time?
What do you
They
mean?
change it all the time? Like from year to year?
Yep, it's always different. Every competition is different, yeah.
Wow.
But you usually have something like a farmer's carry. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So a farmer's carry, where you have like a yoke walk. So basically it looks like you put a squat rack on your shoulders and you run with it. You'll have like an overhead press, a deadlift event, some movement, loading medleys. So medleys when you do like 2 different implements in one sort of thing. So it'd be like carry a yoke 50 feet and then press a log a couple of times or something. But at the Arnold, apparently it's really heavy.
I bet.
So that's what's sweet, 'cause I'm statically heavy. Some of these dudes are really quick here, is where they used to catch up on me, right? But yeah, so it's interesting to see where you stack with everybody else at that level.
Well, it's interesting to me that the stuff, like the strongman stuff, is more practical,
Yes,
real
exactly.
world stuff than just like
It
typical
is.
gym stuff.
It feels like it's come up from people doing stuff like, no, I bet you I can lift that rock, or I bet you I can lift that rock.
That's
it feels like
exactly-
it's come up from that, right?
That's exactly how it goes. Like there's an event called the Husafell Stone. So it comes from, I think it's from Iceland. Basically, there'd be like a goat pen. And the gate was a huge stone, like a 400-pound stone, a big flat stone.
Yeah.
And to test or they call it the manhood stone as well. So they'd pick it up, and the challenge was to walk it all the way around the goat pen sort of thing, right? And if you could, then you were a man, right? That was their thing. So we have that, but it's an apparatus. It's made of steel and it's plate loaded sort of thing.
Okay.
So we do that for max distance sort of thing. It's pretty neat that there's actually like a backstory to how this stuff came to be. So it is. It's very practical. It's pretty neat how it works.
Yeah. Like I work out a little bit, but I'm not trying to like win any competitions or anything like that. I just want to stay strong and healthy.
Yeah.
And I've realized, like being a brewer, my shoulder was always messed up from carrying kegs around. Just like one arm out of balance. Like I did that for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then it's just caused so many problems. So and then I just started thinking, well, I'm just old. Got to give up. You know what I mean? Just go easier. But then I got more flexible and I got stronger. And now I'm like, well, I'm oldest I've ever been.
Yeah.
I guess we all are.
Yeah.
I'm 47.
Yeah.
And I feel, well, I get a little tweak here right now, but I feel in better shape and stronger than ever. Just putting in the work.
Yeah, you
like
look
just
awesome.
dumbbells at home, pull-ups, push-ups, stuff like that. I don't want to go to the gym and spend a half an hour getting in and changing and out. I just do it in my living room and I feel better than I ever have.
There's something to be said for just keeping moving though, and not being static.
That's right.
You gotta just being moving and doing stuff rather than sitting at a desk.
If you rest, you rust, is what they say, right? So
And I
you're
don't
always
have
moving.
ambitions in me to do anything like you're doing. Like that's like a whole other level. That's super impressive. I'll put in like 40-minute workout every other day and some stretching every day, cold plunge every day.
Cold plunge,
But like you're doing like,
Cold plunge is harder. It's nuts.
well, if
I don't know how you do it.
the people at home, you should find Steve Austin, the wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He put on his Instagram and his Twitter him trying to do cold plunge for the first time. He lasts 15 seconds.
It's insane.
And he wimped out and he got out.
Oh, yeah. There's a guy named Sean Rossman around here. He's a high-level arm wrestler.
Yeah.
So he geared up a sauna and a cold plunge and stuff at his house. And they have a gym in Middleton called Kettlebell Crushers.
Okay.
So I use their facility sometimes for movement events.
Yeah.
So he talked to me and he's like, if you want to come over and try my cold plunge and sauna. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, how cold is it? He's like, well, I'm not telling you. Just come on over and try it.
It's a cold plunge.
It's pretty cold.
Oh, man. You feel like you're going into shock.
You for the first 25, 30 seconds, you think you are.
Literally, yeah.
But if you can get past that 25, 30 seconds, you're good because you just get this wave of endorphins.
So do you work on your breathing before you get in?
No, well, not now. That's just normal to me now. I've done it for a
Second
year.
nature.
Yeah.
At first, was it you'd maintain your breathing to get prepared
well,
for
the
it?
first, like, Well, when I did it the first time, I'm in it, so I'm experiencing it. But I learned even more when I saw my son do it for the first time. So he got in, and his eyes got big, and he started, he's just like freaking out, and he sounded like a chimpanzee in there.
Yeah.
He started to get up, and I just put my hand, I didn't hold him down, I just put my hand on his shoulder. I said, just breathe, just trust me, just breathe. And then once he got past the 30-second mark, he's hooting and hollering and loving it, and he went the whole 3 minutes, because I guess 3 minutes is about
That's a long time.
the sweet spot.
Yeah.
He doesn't. That's a long time, but it doesn't really benefit past that, they say. Andrew Huberman on Huberman Lab is a good podcast for listening to science on that. And then he gets out and he's running around the house flexing and stuff. He looks like Randy Macho Man Savage, like, I can beat anybody. He just had this shot of all these hormones and endorphins, and he just feels like $1 million because your body thinks it's going to die.
Yeah.
Your body really does think it's going to die.
I'm aware. I've tried it. It sucks. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, literally.
Really? Yeah.
Easily. The hardest thing I've ever done. And I had Sean helping me with my breathing, kind of what you did with your son. You try to, bring him down a little. Yeah. And I managed 3 minutes of hell. I just couldn't.
Did you
get
find it got
comfortable.
easier after about a half a minute?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it's your brain. Like it's your brain that gets you. You kind of go into flight mode.
Yeah.
But you need somebody. I had someone kind of coaching me through it. Yeah. That's the only way I made 3 minutes.
Like yesterday, I went out, and it was the first day of the year that there was actually a crust of ice on it. It was a -1 outside. It was a crust of ice. Had to take the axe. I didn't have to use the axe because it was so light. But I'm like, I don't want to get in there. But I'm like, this is the commitment I've made. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. But I've got videos of me because I had all winter. I just go all winter, and I go out every morning with. Sometimes the ice is that thick in the morning. To chop it up with the axe, turn it to slush. Yes, there's slush right from. It's like 1,000-liter tote, and there's slush right to the bottom. And I'll get in there, like there'd be cuts all over my legs and everything from the ice.
My God.
3 minutes.
You give me anxiety right now.
I play Beastie Boys song "Sabotage."
Yeah.
It's exactly 3 minutes. It's my timer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can do that.
Oh, I got videos of
My
Anoop
heart's
and
racing
Ash,
thinking about
my
that.
foreign workers from like India and Nepal doing it. Oh my goodness. It's
it must be brutal for them.
Oh, they lasted about a minute. But I was
That's
super proud of them.
impressive, yeah.
They got out. I gave them a shot of whiskey and took them for lobster poutine.
Lobster poutine? That sounds awesome.
They'd never had it before, right?
Same.
From being from Nepal and India, so it was fun.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like our bodies are capable of way more than we realize.
Oh, yeah.
You must have realized that.
Oh,
you
certainly.
Because you're doing shit you probably never imagined.
100%. Yeah. I would have never thought I could be this strong.
Yeah.
It's actually insane. And how much endurance you have.
Yeah.
Your mind can be a limiting factor or completely the opposite.
That's the psychology, right? Because I grew up backwoods and on family farm, and all the guys like at our age, late 30s, 40s, they were broken. They're working hard manual labor on farms and fishing boats and in sawmills, and a lot of them they're just accepted to be old men.
That's right.
Broken old men.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize like the work. You just put in a little bit of work in diet and. I mean, people didn't know much back then.
No, that's
but
right.
It's so sad that people just give up on themselves because they don't really understand what they're capable of.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally true. Back to the cold plunge. The first time I tried that with Sean at his house, he kind of coached me through it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Doesn't help you learn how to drink. Huh?
There's bones in that beer.
So Sean had a smoker, and he's smoking steaks.
Oh.
Looking at me like I'm going to wimp out, right? I literally can't.
He's not giving you steak if you wimp out.
He didn't give me any anyway. I just didn't have the courage. The guy has the biggest set of hands I've ever seen. The muscles look like biceps in his hands. Jeepers. This arm wrestler, right? Yeah. So he's just looking at me like I couldn't wimp out of this, right? And it was challenging. I wanted to be done in 20 seconds. But when you get out, when you feel your blood go to your skin, it's amazing. You feel so good. Do you have a sauna as well at home?
No, not yet. That's a goal. I have a hot tub and a cold plunge.
Do you ever get right in the hot tub?
Oh, yeah. I go back and forth sometimes.
Oh, you can go back in from the hot tub?
Oh, I'll go back and forth. And it's like, well, they do that at the spas. All the ladies now are going to Sensi Spa.
Oh, yeah. I've tried it.
Yeah, they're going from like steam rooms into cold plunges and all this stuff. And it's amazing for you, like your circulation and everything, your inflammation. But you feel so relaxed after. If I go from the hot tub to the cold plunge, the hot tub to the cold plunge, then go to bed, like you have a good night's sleep.
Are you close to pain-free?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Like I said, I'm in better shape, more flexible, stronger than I've ever in my whole adult life.
Do you ever do breathing exercises?
A little bit.
Have you heard of Wim Hof?
Oh yeah, Wim Hof, the Iceman.
Yeah, exactly. I figured you know who that is. Literally.
He's insane, but maybe more sane than us at the same time. That's what I wonder when
He's
I'm
got
listening.
it figured out.
He does. Look up some Wim Hof guy. He did a podcast with a Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He had some trauma though. He had some hard stuff in his life.
Did you see him rip his scarring in his stomach?
No.
He was on top of like a jet spray or something like that, and it went through his body and out of his stomach. And he didn't even like feel it.
Wow.
He didn't go get to the hospital. He didn't anything. He just let it heal naturally.
Tough.
You got to see what this
He
looks
was
like.
drinking E. coli. Did you see that? He drank E. coli to prove that his training techniques, like his cold plunge and his breathing techniques and just the natural health. He would just drink it and say, I'm good. And then they say, well, that's not normal. And he said, you give me 50 people and I'll train them to do the same. He believes that
Do you think that was bullshit or he's really doing?
I think he's real. I think that the human body is more capable than we realize. And I think that our diets and our lifestyles make us weak.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think if we challenge ourselves, because humans, we didn't get here by being wimps.
That's right.
Like we're all, anyone alive.
Shouldn't endorse other people to just drink E. coli.
No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't. But I think he was
Only the
showing
tough ones.
how strong humans can be if they're conditioned properly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but not everyone is built the same at the same time. But I do agree.
No.
But I do agree. Like, 'cause there's the mental challenge of everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think that a lot of our food and a lot of our drugs and a lot of the environmental toxins, we're not super healthy people.
No, for sure.
No. And there's a lot of natural things we could do to like really be a lot healthier and stronger.
My issue is sleep.
Yeah.
I struggle
I'm not
with
good at that either.
Truthfully, this is going to sound like I'm being full of myself. My arms are so big that they go numb when I bend them. Like quick, 30 seconds, they're gone. So when you try to get comfortable and you sleep, it's just, you have to keep repositioning all night. Like an old dog.
That's my problem too, is
Same
inflammation
thing,
in my shoulders.
Yeah,
Not because
it
they're so
sucks.
big.
But still you're dealing with pain
I was a
when you're trying to
pitcher when
sleep.
I was a kid and I ruined my arm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my arms go to sleep if I'm not in the right.
Okay. So,
but I got to keep the flexibility and I got to keep the weights up to keep them good.
Yeah.
I heard it here a couple weeks ago and I'm still trying to get it back, but I know what to do now.
Yeah.
I know that I got to work on the flexibility and the weights and the diet. But yeah, men's shoulders are a problem area.
Constant. I don't have any issues with my shoulders anymore. I used to constantly have issues with my shoulders, but
the numbness isn't.
It's not my shoulders. It's from here down.
Yeah, but maybe I think someone explained to me, I don't know who it was, but that there's very narrow passages for the nerves in a man's shoulders, and if there's any amount of inflammation, it just pinches that off.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I did hear that, and there's an exercise you can do. You'll see people do like an incline bench, and you let your arms hang down and do a curl, and it hits your ulnar nerve, is what it's called, and apparently that helps you with your circulation. And I don't have shoulder pain anymore since I've started doing those a little more exaggerated stretches, but I do have circulation issues at the bottom, but like no shoulder pain, nothing at all. So, and I mean, I press heavy stuff with my shoulders, so it's not that anymore, right? Yeah. So I think everyone's a little different, just our body compositions too, right?
Curtis, the coffee guy that you were telling me about, he helped me like nerve flossing. It looks like I'm doing disco dancing. So you up like this, and then like that. It's like up and then that.
He's definitely the guy that would know that.
You turn the hand out and then you turn the head over.
Okay.
Because he had this similar injury, and that like helped me a lot. He gave me sent me some little videos of some exercises to do, but like things just get bound up.
That's right.
In our bodies, like the fascia and the nerves and all these things. And it's just good to keep. Because the instinct is, if you're hurt, to just lay down and rest. Yeah, that's the mistake.
Absolutely,
that's the mistake. You got to keep going, but in a way that won't hurt you.
Have you heard of pendulums?
No.
So you can do like an active or a passive. So I had my shoulder injury, and I had to learn what these are. Basically, you lean over and you let your shoulder hang, and you'll rotate it, and then swing it like a pendulum kind of thing. But if you hold on to a dumbbell, say 10, 20 pounds, it sort of stretches your ball and socket a little. You rotate it around, it'll loosen impingements and things like that.
Try that.
Or hang therapy as well. Just put your thumbs on the outside of a bar and hang and let your body realign. Yeah. You'll notice a lot of improvements in your spine, shoulders, and just wellness in general.
Yeah, I have a pull-up bar in my walk-in closet. That
it must be
it's
hot.
right for me. Yeah.
I was going to say, how the hell do you do? I was going to say, I'd have to have a
milk crate.
Yeah.
It's good for me. Like my feet don't drag. I got one of those ones you put in a doorway one time, but I had to like, what's the good of this?
Yeah, yeah. You just have your knees bent the whole time.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, a doorway this high above your head. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but pull-ups are amazing. You remember Dwight Howard from basketball?
Oh yeah.
There's photos of him in like college. He's so skinny, and then him in like the NBA.
He's probably the craziest physique I've ever seen in basketball.
Shoulders,
watermelons,
huge. Yeah, and it was all from pull-ups. He spent a lot of time in a pull-up bar. I read an
really?
article about it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know he's doing like Dancing with the Stars or something like that now. Him and this little 4'11" girl.
That's how it always goes, right?
It's hilarious. It's so comical.
Yeah. But he was such a, what is he? 6'10",
I think.
10 or something.
6'10",
and just in rebounding like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Great big shoulders.
Yeah, one of the most undersized centers ever.
Yeah.
You'd never know the way he played.
Oh yeah, he's
nuts.
He's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you played basketball.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had no
Better
choice.
have. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Had no choice. Weymouth Black Tide. Yeah.
Weymouth.
Weymouth Black Tide.
Right next to Plimpton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You were past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good place to grow up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You must know a lot of the Cromwells up
Oh
there.
yeah.
Gregory Cromwell, do you know him?
Yeah, he was my right hand man on the basketball
Yeah,
court. Or I guess he would say I was his, whatever. But
He dated my sister for a long
really?
time. Yeah, such a small area.
Oh,
right?
Greg and I are best friends from
He's
school.
a wicked dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
him and
too.
I, we're in junior high, and him and I could both dunk in junior high.
He could dunk when he was in his 40s too.
Yeah, and we would scare the shit out of
Yeah,
kids.
oh, I betcha. Yeah, I
We'd go to
betcha.
like Queens down here, like
Yeah.
in the middle of the province.
Yeah.
And they're just little kids down there.
Yeah.
And Gregory and I come in and dunk in the warm up in the back, but these kids are just shitting themselves.
Two gorillas just ripping the rim apart.
Yeah. Oh, Greg's a big boy.
Oh, I know. He's not as tall as you, but he's
No,
really big.
Big. Yeah. I remember one day he was messing with me in the classroom. I started chasing him, and as I'm chasing him, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I going to do if I catch him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to catch him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I stopped,
Tickle him,
and then he started chasing me. I'm like, ah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big boy.
I got him to go to play basketball with me one Sunday in Middleton, and he was like close to 3 bills in weight. And he's 6'3", probably, I would say, about
probably
there.
closer to 4.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
He came out, and like he was limping around. He's big.
Yeah.
I'm like, Gregory, think you can still get up? Takes one bounce and just takes the rim off. I'm like, well, that
like,
doesn't go away.
He's got this finesse where he almost like does it in slow motion.
Yeah, exactly.
He would just
Yeah, I
come
agree.
to the foul line and just balls up in the air like that.
And huge mitts too.
Oh,
yeah.
He was a good guy to have on your side.
I betcha. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like best friends in school.
That's cool. You know him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of great ball players down there, yeah.
Well, I know about Gregory, that's for sure.
Yeah. And he was related to, I think he's distant related to Sam Langford, the old boxer. So I really want to get someone in to talk about Sam Langford. They made a movie recently, Bone Crusher.
Oh, really? That's about him?
Yeah.
I have heard of that.
Yeah. I want to get someone in to talk about that because I grew up like every day. My school bus would go by the Sam Langford Community Center.
Have you heard of a guy named Bruce Harkness?
I don't think so.
He's like royalty around here.
Yeah?
He's the biggest boxing coach ever. Well, around here, he coached a guy named Cyrus Taylor into the winning Canada Games a few years ago, and at the world level, he's brought up a lot of athletes. He might be somebody you'd want to bring in to talk about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's a military retired master warrant officer as well, right?
Cool.
Pillar of the community from Middleton. Ran a gym. He's just helped.
Yeah.
He's inspired probably hundreds of kids. So
Yeah, that Sam Langford story is insane because he was like, well, they call him the greatest champion that never was. Right?
Yeah, that's
because
right.
because he was black,
Yeah.
the white fighters didn't have to fight him.
Yeah.
He just didn't get a
Crazy.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah.
They're lucky they didn't have to fight him.
And Greg had his physique. My friend Greg right now, he's like big. Yeah. Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Some cool stories. People, like, that's why I want to do this podcast. There's so many cool people around here doing so many amazing things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
like,
I know.
so many crazy things.
Yeah, I saw you had Emily Doyle on here.
Yeah.
She does so much, eh?
She's amazing.
She's
super talented.
She's super humble about it, too.
Yeah. No, there's like dog trainers and mushroom farmers and musicians and
the wine tour guy.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
That's it, Jeremy. Yeah.
And then we had the immigration minister of Nova Scotia on here a couple weeks ago, and we got an election coming up right away.
Yeah,
26.
Yeah.
So we got some really cool guests lined up to come into. Yeah,
you do. This is awesome. I've watched a few of these.
Yeah, well, I love it because always something to learn. Like, I'm not going to do what you do. First of all, I'm way too old. I don't have the time. But there's always something to learn from everybody who does anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so cool.
And it's not always, not everyone wants to do the same things, right? You
No,
wanna
but there's
learn-
transferable
you can-
things.
You can learn some lessons from other people doing stuff.
It's also nice just to watch it. Sometimes it's nice just to watch
That's
it.
true.
You
Yeah.
know? I like watching basketball. I used to play basketball. I was
Yeah.
pretty good, but I'm
Yeah.
5'9". I could go so far, you
Yeah.
know. But eventually it gets to a point you kind of run out with your potential, you know.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nate Robinson or something, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's nice about this sport for me. It's individual. So you're it's all you. You don't have to rely on a teammate. Your big guy rolls his ankle or something.
And there's
right?
weight categories where if
That's
there
right.
was a professional basketball league for under 6 footers, you
Yeah,
might
exactly.
have had a chance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They should totally do that.
Should they be? Shorties? The
Give
shorty
us,
league?
Give us 9-foot rims, eh?
Yeah.
I used to be able to dunk in
Yeah.
games and stuff
Really?
when I was younger. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Doesn't mean I'm you or Greg Cromwell, but yeah. I
Where
was
did
able
where
to.
did you grow up?
Middleton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're Nova Scotia born and raised,
Yeah.
been here your whole life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly. I've been here a long time with the military too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to
That's
say
good.
that too loud because I like to post people, but
Yeah.
yeah, just be good at your job and they'll keep you around.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, Jeepers, it's interesting times with the whole global stuff. Let's
Yeah.
hope that you can stay at your desk and
Being in
everybody's
the military
cool.
must be a little bit stressful, more stressful now than it was a few years ago.
It's got to be.
I mean, it could be more stressful, but that's kind of up to you as the individual.
Yeah.
You know, your perspective on things
Yeah.
matters, right? And if good leadership, that stuff gets filtered down so you don't feel it as much,
Yeah.
right? So it can be. It's true.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it works. And we
Yeah.
have a lot of good leaders in the military,
Yeah.
right? So
That's a good thing. That's definitely need that.
well, in Greenwood, we have a really good wing commander right now. And
Right.
from him down is where it matters. And
Yeah.
he's the example, right? So
That's
people
good.
feel his energy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I hope things stay peaceful.
Yeah.
And we can be talking about weightlifting and
Yeah, exactly.
shit like that.
yeah, 100%.
Podcasting and fun things and not darker things.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a place for that, and this isn't it.
I hope not.
Yeah.
No, I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world is kind of sketchy right now.
The world was, there's enough weird stuff going on without war, really. There's enough
Yeah.
even dark stuff. And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, I would definitely say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you were thinking about or curious or want to share with us or?
About the sport, you mean?
Yeah, anything.
Pretty much like it's just basically this was a goal. Here's the weird thing. When you reach your goal,
Yeah.
what the fuck do you do now?
I know, man.
Right? Luckily
had that.
I'm a pro now.
Yeah.
Luckily that's what you get when you
Yeah.
win the amateur nationals.
Yeah.
So I have that to focus on.
So what was
Right.
your goal going in?
To
You've
win.
surpassed them
To-
all
to
already.
I've reached it.
Yeah.
To win nationals, which is pretty close to impossible, it feels, right?
Yeah.
Because there's such a small margin for error in the sport, and there's so many really talented athletes, like
Yeah.
really talented. The top 5 could all compete at a pro level,
Mm-hmm.
100% for sure. It's just like a coin flip for who's going to win on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the guy who had 8th place happened to be 8th, but he wasn't the 8th strongest guy,
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? So it's just you win. You reach the goal that you dedicated so much energy and sacrificed so much
Yeah.
for, and then you have to figure out: are you just going to fall? You're at the top.
Yeah.
There's only one place from there. Stay at the top. Use that as a platform to do more things, or you can spiral. You really can.
Yeah.
And I chose not
And
to.
not by failure, sometimes by success.
Exactly. Yeah. You see a lot
Because
of
you
this.
work so hard to get somewhere and you get there, it can be a weird feeling.
I prepared myself for it though. The mental stuff, it wasn't just to compete. I'd listen to a lot, like for example, you learn from mistakes of other high level athletes, like Mike Tyson, for example.
Yeah.
He had a really good mentor, Castiamato. I'm
Yeah.
sure you heard of him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said to him something that was really important. He said, in order to be the champion, you have to become him like before.
Right.
So you have to carry yourself like that.
You manifest that shit.
You do. You really
Yeah.
do. But you have to really carry yourself that way. So it's not uncomfortable when you get there.
Yeah.
It's second nature, kind of like rehearsing a competition before you do it. So I just kind of allowed myself to feel what I was going to feel when I won. That went out the window when I won, obviously for a couple of days, but I feel a little more prepared than I thought I would have been. So now I can kind of focus on not fearing the dip that people get when they reach their
Right.
goals, you know? So yeah, the Arnold next, and just focusing on bringing other people in and enjoying the moment. For 3 days, I thought I slept with my trophy my pro card beside me and touched it because I thought I was going to wake up from a dream.
Yeah.
And it wasn't real. And I'd have like panic attacks. You just like, this can't be possible, you know? But once it settles and then you realize that it happened, you can kind of make peace with it.
And you've always got that. You've always got it.
You've
accomplished it.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Setting goals is not easy as well.
It's not. Because I know myself, I have sometimes set really low goals. And then I've accomplished them all. And then I go through a dark period. I've felt that.
And you can't go too far the other way, because if you set yourself impossible goals, then you fuck yourself anyway. So you got to kind of... Setting goals is a skill in itself, really.
It is. Yeah, it really is, for sure.
And there's brain chemistry with that.
Yeah. I mean, going back to Arnold, because he managed to set himself these goals, and he kept changing his goals, but he kept... Well, suddenly he's got all this success, but suddenly politics, and suddenly...
That's right.
And it's actually, that's smart. That's really smart. That's a skill.
Mm-hmm. He's the 1%. He's the 1% kind of guy, right? Yeah. I mean, you can aspire to be someone like him. That's why there's one Arnold Schwarzenegger out there, you know. Mm-hmm. You can use him as your motivation to try to reach whatever your goals are. That's why it's nice for our sport. You have different level competitions. So small goal, medium goal, and then the ultimate goal of nationals, winning that. But now it's like people would think how daunting it is to compete on the pro stage. It's just it'd be overwhelming. But like people say don't put all your eggs in one basket. I had fucking one egg. This was it. It was to win. You know, I dedicated everything to winning. So I'm not nervous about this next level because I know how it's felt for 2.5 years to just try to achieve a goal, and I did. You know, so I'm just enjoying the process.
It's the same stuff you've done all along.
That's it, exactly right. And I mean, it's the mental. You just learn over time. You just learn to become more comfortable with the process and trusting it. And now I'm just enjoying it a lot more. I'm very much so at peace with it because I proved myself that it's doable. Yeah.
But it is good to be thinking about the next stage too, like coaching and stuff like that.
For sure, yeah. It'll be super cool to compete on the pro stage. So you get 2 invites when you win. Okay. So you get one for the Arnold, and the other one's called your official strongman games. So it's the world finals basically for us. So I can't remember where that is. But look, it's in the States somewhere. Okay. That one's in December, but you can defer that a year. So you can do the 2025 competition. Good. Yeah. It's been a long season. Yeah. So basically what I want to do next year is pretty much...
Yeah, December and, you say February?
March. Well, February 27th into early March, right? That's I'll do that one. I'll do the Arnold in the end of Feb into early March, but the other one will be a 2025 plan anyway.
You'll be 38.
I'll be 38, And then my plan is to take a year off and then compete as a Masters, so 40 years old. That's when you're a Masters, and go and win as a Masters and get a pro status as a Masters. Oh, wow. That's where I'm at loosely right now. We'll see if I still have that drive after I've competed as a pro and stuff. I might just want
and avoid the injury.
That's the big
probably
thing.
What separates the guys at that, the 40-year mark.
That's right. You get to see these guys. The guys that are in the Masters division, they're so much better. Really? Yeah, they're just so experienced. Every one of them. None of them half-ass anything. You see the most, amazing approach to every event. You can't imagine. You just watch them and you admire what they're doing.
Is it just me, or is like 40 different than it was when we were kids?
I would say so.
It feels like it,
doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I've had that thought.
Or are we just saying this because we're old guys now?
No, it really is. You see these Masters guys, it just seems like they're not 40. Like 40's the new 30, realistically.
I mean, there's all kinds of technology out there. I don't know what people aren't allowed to do, but there's so much.
There's some of that, but some of it's just knowing a bit about diet.
That's right.
Diet, yeah.
For sure. I mean, let's be serious. There's supplementation as well in any sport, right? Yeah. And I mean, in strongman, it's untested, but it's up to the athlete, whatever they want to do with it, Yeah.
But there's like stem cells now. Exactly. There's so many things, so much technology, sports technology for recovery and
what you were talking about, everything. The cold baths and hot tubs and stuff like that, stretching, sleeping, nutrition. That's the biggest difference that people really didn't take seriously, unless you're training for the Olympics or something.
Right. So. And even 30 years ago in the Olympics, their science wasn't where it is now. They had no idea.
No. Not even close.
No.
Did you watch the last Olympics?
No.
None?
No, I find it's ridiculous. Did you see that break dancer from Australia?
Sure did. Yeah. Sure did. Yeah.
Didn't that make a mockery of the whole thing?
Sure did. Yeah. A lot of things did.
Yeah.
A lot of things did.
Yeah.
That was the highlight for me.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I did watch bits and pieces of it because there's some things that are just fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
But there are, I mean.
I love the wrestling.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, that's the premier Olympic sport.
That's the original one, right?
It really is.
It is,
I think it is, yeah.
And it's so high level. The guy that won was like 40 years old or something.
Really?
The best guy anyway.
Yeah.
He's this Cuban fella, and it was just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
To me, the Cubans take that stuff serious.
Oh, man. I guess they do. It's crazy to see a Russian not win. It's different times right now, right? So obviously you don't have Russians there. But, yeah, it was pretty crazy to watch the Olympics this year, positive and negatively.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's always an event, for better or worse, right?
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it all gets kind of co-opted by big business and politics. And
There's no I think. It's certainly that.
Yeah.
Any sport, as soon as there's enough money in it, somebody will turn with sponsorship. Suddenly there's a corporate something. Any sport.
But it was definitely inspiring as a kid. You know, I love watching CBC when I was a kid, and
I used to love
the
watching
Olympics
running,
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to watch the 100 meters, the 200 meters.
Yeah.
I loved all that.
Have you watched Caitlyn Jenner's documentary on Netflix?
No.
Watch it.
Yeah.
From Bruce into Caitlyn kind of thing, the decathlon.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce is a fucking beast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Holy, what I'm talking right here.
Yeah.
What a beast. It was incredible. That's maybe my favorite documentary I've ever watched.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to
literally.
watch that.
Yeah, I have a huge appreciation.
Yeah.
I watched it and it just made me very inspired.
Cool.
You just watched how Bruce set goals and transitioned into Caitlyn as well, and just like such a logical approach to training and transitioning, and just it makes people understand the whole process of being an athlete and the other end, transitioning as well. I had a narrow-minded view on this until I watched that, and I've changed completely.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Was that on Netflix? Was it?
yeah, it was on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend that to anybody to watch for sure.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Because as Bruce was a very high level athlete, really.
Won
Multiple.
the Olympics, on the Wheaties box.
He was,
Like a total beast. It's like you could see he's a little bit muscular, but then you'd see him just lay down with an incline dumbbell press with like 140s. It's like that's no normal. He's like a tall, thin guy. Realistically, he's banging out 140s. Like you don't see dudes built like me often doing that in the gym, right? It's just then you go do an entire training session, a decathlon training session as well on the same day. It's like no, that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not typical. That's why
That was a mindset.
totally the mindset was insane, and it showed a close up to Bruce preparing for events. And you just see the look in his eyes, and just his approach and self talk, and it was just amazing. It was super amazing.
That's why I think so much about like what is my potential with so many things like fitness or whatever, and getting in that cold plunge every day is like a good way to start my day, knowing that I can do hard things.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do the workout when you don't want to. Like, it's you have to inspire yourself a little bit.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely
It's
do.
good to go at something you don't think you can do, accomplish it, know you can do it, and then move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Because it's nothing sadder than people that are cutting their own potential
That's right.
out from under themselves.
You see it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, you see it
It's
all the
hard
time.
to know when you're in it, though. If you're kind of, sabotaging
I don't
yourself,
know.
it's not easy to know always, right? Like you can take the steps to look at it logically, but it's hard to.
And it doesn't have to just be about fancy accomplishments either.
No.
It can be like maybe we think we cut ourselves short and don't think we can control our temper with our loved ones.
Absolutely.
Or we think that we can't, like discipline ourselves with our money, or we think that we can't, whatever it is.
Yep.
We limit ourselves
That's
a
right.
lot.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you can have the mental strength to do one thing, you can muster the mental strength to do all the things.
It goes a long way when you have some direction too.
Yeah.
Mentorship or just a little bit of direction, or knowing how to research the stuff for yourself. You'll see young people that accomplish things in life because they obsess over it early.
Yeah.
And it's not only sports. You see successful people in any aspect. It's because they give a shit early. And it's just somebody spiked that in them. Somebody inspired them, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to find what inspires you.
Well, it was cool that you were watching that stuff when you were a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And now you're doing it. You're living it 30 years later, you're living that dream.
That's right. Yeah. It was just like, you say set reasonable goals. This was
Maybe.
this wasn't reasonable at first, right? I looked like a clown the first year thinking I was going to win nationals. And I was like saying it, I'm going to win. And there wasn't a hope in hell I was going to win, right? But because I lost.
But you did. You just didn't do it then.
Yeah, that's right.
The loss.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't waste a loss. Exactly. I just used it as fuel. That's kind of why I set this unattainable goal, because I knew there was just a thing that was going to drive me to work toward it, right?
Yeah.
And you see it in lots of different situations in life with people. Yeah.
I remember it was like winter of 1999, and I'm watching the East Coast Music Awards, and I'm just sitting on the floor, my father-in-law's house, and everyone else in the kitchen, and I'm watching ECMAs, and I said out loud, I'm going to be on there someday. I wasn't even in a band at the time. A year later, I was at the ECMAs sitting next to Great Big Sea. It was
What?
crazy. Yeah. And I joined a band in the summer, made an album, nominated, and I was there like within a year.
What?
I mean, it's not like the Grammys or anything, but it was just weird. I said it out loud. I'm going to be there someday. And within a year, I was there.
Actually, that is something that I've heard about a lot, and I've been meaning to try. Is like the whole thing of vocalizing and actually manifesting, actually saying it or writing it down or something.
Yeah.
Because if it's just in your head, it's there, but you gotta writing it down is supposed to
Saying
say
it
it out loud.
believing it,
Oh, yeah.
working at things.
For sure. Thoughts become things, right?
Thoughts become things. Yeah. But you got to believe it.
For sure.
And you got to put the work in too.
So you sat beside Great Big Sea.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was talking about them with my coworker today. We both said, man, I haven't heard fucking anybody talk about the band in years.
They
And
probably
now
made
here
enough
you
money.
are.
They don't have to.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. And they're awesome.
They're great.
Yeah. You don't hear you don't even hear their music
Talking
anymore.
about them in the last episode.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Really?
But it was because of AJ. He's a
AJ,
musician,
the
so it's-
musician,
Oh,
was
okay.
talking about,
Yeah.
I was at their 20th anniversary concert. Or it was 19. It was 19 years. I remember it was like in the middle of the winter, downtown Halifax outside. And they said, our band is finally old enough to drink, because it was like their 19th birthday as the band. And that was a long time ago. Gee, that was probably 12 years ago. They've been around a long time.
Oh, they have, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really hear them anymore. It's too bad because
Yeah.
they're super good.
I
They're
think,
awesome.
what's his name? Doyle, the lead singer, he does solo stuff now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is he on Spotify, I wonder, or solo
Probably.
stuff?
And
Okay.
he worked with Russell Crowe in music. Do you know Russell Crowe, the
Of course
Gladiator?
I know who Russell. Yeah, yeah.
He's a musician,
Yeah, yeah.
and him and this
What?
Doyle guy are
Russell
like
Crowe's
friends.
a musician?
Yes, you didn't know that?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of actors become musicians. Like Keanu Reeves plays bass. Apparently.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. Have you heard of the new
Johnny
Basement
Depp.
Tapes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that blew my mind. I had no idea until I watched the video. I'm like,
And
That's
Jared
Johnny Depp.
Leto. There's like a bunch of these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the same thing. Anyone who really excels at stuff and they have the work ethic and the discipline, they can do anything.
for sure. Yeah,
Cause
definitely.
because a lot of people seem to think that music is some kind of talent, but you learn music. It's not like
That's right.
I mean,
It's putting
some
in the
people are a
time.
little bit more tone deaf, I guess, but you learn it. It's not like
Yeah.
people go to university for that. It's not
That's right.
like you know.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Put in the time.
Yeah, that's right. I've said for years I want to learn how to play guitar.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but it's not out of the woods yet. It's possible.
Well, you've already proven that it's not too late to start stuff.
I have fat hands that pumped up pretty quick though, so I don't know.
Piano
Try.
is way easier to start.
Oh, really? Yeah. Let me see those piano fingers.
And you could carry the piano from gig
Yeah,
to gig.
exactly. Yeah. I've had people get me helping with pianos for sure.
Yeah. We found a piano player, the only guy that can carry.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
You do have a piano out there if you want to.
There is a piano out there.
If you want to try and lift it up.
Are you serious?
There is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in tune or anything
Okay.
like that.
It
but-
won't be. It won't be if I try to move it. I'll roll it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I started the brewing company, I set the goal of having a tap takeover at Battery Park and the goal of winning a gold medal. And we did both of those. And I was depressed. I was really down. I was really depressed.
Because you reached that goal.
Yeah.
And then
what do I do now? And I could have or should have set bigger goals, but I was kind of insecure. I mean, maybe. What do you call that? Like I was pretty
that's
ambitious
insecurity.
to start a company and say I'm going to get a gold medal and say I'm going to do that, and I did it, which is more than a lot of people do. I set goals and accomplish them, but at the same time, I set my goals kind of low, and then when I did get there, I didn't know where to go next.
It's crazy because that's not that low for on a big scale.
Yeah.
That's realistically not. It just proves you are who you think you are.
Yeah, and then I had a relationship too where her and I set goals, and then I realized just the other day that well, once we reached all the goals, the relationship fell apart.
Really?
Yeah. Like right down to the letter of the, and I think that it's so important to have next level goals.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Because I think we can feel lost if we, and I think there's a lot of people that do feel lost because they don't have any goals.
That's right.
They just go through the motions and they do their things.
Yeah.
And maybe they're dreaming about something, but they don't really have the courage to jump in and do it. Like we wanted to do this podcast for years.
Yeah. So how long has this been going now?
6 months.
6 months?
6 months.
You obviously love it.
We
you guys
do
are
love
having
it.
fun. Yeah.
Still having fun.
Yeah.
We're already
18.
Yeah, we
18,
got
really?
another
Okay.
guy joined our team, Brock. Shout out to Brock. He's out in Alberta. He edits our videos now.
Okay, cool.
Helping us kind of plan and organize and go to the next level. So yeah, we're planning, different things for the future.
It's awesome where it's located too.
I love it. Yeah, we're gonna have like a room out here for for events, comedy and music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have a comedian coming here soon?
Yeah. Well,
Is he one of the guys who's on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we did an open mic last Wednesday night.
Oh shit, that just happened.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing one each month.
Okay.
I did a little 5-minute set.
Yeah.
My first time.
Really?
And Ben's going to do something, putting Ben on the spot.
I am.
Gavin Robichaud
Not
was out
to
the other
brag,
night.
but I'm pretty funny myself.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I could talk
Jump
a cat
up.
out of a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come talk some shit. Be
Yeah.
fun.
All right,
Because it's
will
just
do.
a fun thing to do. It's a scary thing to do. And that's another thing is we all, no matter what age we are,
Yeah.
should be trying new things.
For sure,
Like
yeah.
you should always feel
Comedy's
like
the
an amateur
best.
at something.
For sure,
It's good for
yeah.
the humility too.
And
Yeah,
learning is
definitely.
fun.
Learning is fun.
For
I mean, I
sure,
like
yeah.
learning anyway.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
definitely, yeah.
They're just a bunch of people, guys and girls, getting up there, taking a stab at something they want to do, encourage each other.
As
help
long
each
as
other
people
out.
are there to laugh.
Yeah.
Even if they're laughing at you.
Yeah.
It's a shit laugh,
It's
right?
fun.
Like, it's all good. Yeah.
It's
all
all
good.
entertainment, right?
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
like
who
karaoke.
cares?
When someone can sing, you're like,
Yeah.
damn, they're
Yeah.
good. And
Oh,
when
yeah.
someone's bad, you're like,
Damn.
damn, I can't look them in the eye.
Yeah.
But it's all entertaining.
When is the next one you're doing?
It'll be, I think, the last Wednesday of the month. So we'll advertise that. Yeah.
This
like
is going to be
Wednesday
every
night.
month now?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're going to be a regular thing, and this is going to be my goal, my vision. One of my is this is going to be a comedy club. This room here,
Oh my
music
God.
and comedy, and this will be our green room. Maybe have some little podcasts like
Yeah, yeah.
after the shows and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, that's the
Sweet.
goal. Want to make a comedy scene around
Oh my
here.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Absolute Comedy one time in a muscle shirt. What a mistake that was.
Really?
Everybody got
they
me.
made fun of you.
Everybody got me. It was the roast of Travis. Like, it was bad. One guy said to me, he goes, "Hey man, what are those two threads hanging off your shirt?" "Oh, that's your arms. Never mind." Like, immediately, first thing he says, like, "Oh fuck." Like, it's just a roast, a complete roast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be kind of fun, though, in a way.
Oh, it was hilarious. I don't care. It
Yeah.
was so funny. I'm like, okay, who's next? What's coming next? Right? You know.
That's great, though.
Oh yeah. Another guy called me an elongated skeleton. I was like, man, good lord, what's next? Keep going. You know?
Oh yeah. It's brutal, but it's great.
It's creative. I mean,
It is.
comedy can be really quite...
Yeah. And you
Comedy's
know what
the
someone's
best.
made out of if they can take a joke or not. It tells you
That's
a lot
right.
about a person.
Oh, 100%.
Tell- and
But if
that's
you're
why
going to watch
guys-
a comedy show, you better be in that
Yes.
mindset. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
See Tony?
exciting.
Do you see Tony Hinchcliffe? He just got in a bunch of trouble.
Oh man.
Oh, he said some outrageous
Yeah.
shit at the Madison
Yeah, yeah.
Square Gardens. It's like Tony,
Yeah.
like what you can get away with in a comedy club where people are coming to see outrageous shit.
Yeah.
is way different
People
than
who
at
know-
Madison
know
Square
and
Gardens.
expect,
Oh yeah.
When the media's there and people's children are there. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, he's a habitual line stopper.
Oh, he
for
goes
sure.
hard,
Oh, I love it.
which is great.
Was he going to waste
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opportunity, though?
No.
No.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't
He
take.
was on the Tom Brady's roast. He was great on
Oh, I
there,
saw.
too.
He said, "Hey, cut that shit out." Nah, I'm not stopping. Sorry,
I
man.
saw a clip. He lied. He was supposed to tell Netflix what he was going to say
Oh,
before
he
he got,
did.
and it was live event. And he
Yeah,
lied
yeah.
to them and told them it was this material. And then he pulled out some like bigger
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Do you know who a comedian named Big J Ogerson is?
No.
So have you seen it where Tony Hinchcliffe has that show? It's like the 5 guys on the panel, and there are people auditioning. and
Yeah.
they pretty much just
Kill Tony. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Who's the red-haired guy that just
don't
goes
know.
nuts at the end every time? He blows my mind. He blows my mind. There's no comedian like him. He
Yeah.
just seems like he's insane, but
Oh, probably.
it's his
They
character.
are all a little bit insane.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But you just see somebody when they bomb.
Yeah.
And they're just in the corner and they're trapped. That's everyone's fear.
Oh.
Because if you're realistically though, like this, if what you're doing, if somebody bombs, like people are just gonna laugh at you.
People would be
like,
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's not the same.
But the whole point of Kill Tony is they roast them.
Oh man,
When they fail, they
Jay
roast
Ogerson's the guy with the long ponytail. He's the guy that's on there sometimes. His comedy's amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta look him up. Big Jay Ogerson.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll like him.
There's some pretty good comedy.
I'm stoked you're doing that.
Yeah, man, come on
Yeah.
in.
Oh, I'm
It'll
gonna.
build. There was probably not a lot of people here, maybe a dozen or so.
Oh, I'll get some
Wednesday
more here,
night,
for
but
sure.
yeah, we'll
I'll get a
build
bunch
it.
of
And we
people.
do have like professional comedians come in, and we sell out the place like every
Okay.
few months. Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, but it's
'Cause I
something
heard you
really
were
want to work
having
at.
one. I knew you were gonna have one.
Oh well, there'll be more. Yeah, this open mic thing we want to have every month. Maybe build it to every 2 weeks. If we can get
Okay.
enough talent that want to come up, like enough people that'll have
Yeah.
the courage to get up and do it. Oh man, I think we had six guys perform
Okay.
last Wednesday night.
So you have done it, or you're gonna do
He's
it?
gone.
I'm going to do.
He's been working.
I have some jokes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not. No spoilers.
Okay. No, don't spoil. No.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
stoked.
Some of them involve penises. I'm not.
All right. Perfect. Yeah.
I did my first set a year ago. Last October,
Jokes,
I did like a
yeah.
15-minute set. My
Old
first
fashioned.
set. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like the,
Penis
fi-
jokes,
the
yeah.
fifth grade
Yeah.
boy right here.
Oh yeah.
Dick jokes.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Well, I have a 4-year-old at home, so
Yeah.
like she's already making dick jokes. I mean,
I mean, realistic. You can't go wrong with one.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Fucking Les's dick sheds his foreskin twice a year. Chop in half and count the rings. See how old he is.
Oh, when I cold plunge, it disappears.
Yeah.
I come out. I go in, Bruce. I come out, Caitlin.
Yeah. Oh my god. Holy shit.
I transition 3 minutes every morning.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Waiting for that.
Well, maybe on that note.
Yeah.
but that kind of comedy, like making fun of people, and you were saying about people knowing how to take a joke and everything. But that's the basis of human sort of socializing, and
100%.
with your busting your, we always busting each other's balls,
Yes.
saying
Yeah,
stupid stuff. I mean, that's what you do, right?
If you
Yeah.
like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
It's what
thing.
guys do to test each other's loyalty or friendship.
For sure,
Or,
yeah.
Can I count on you? Can you take a joke? Or is your ego too out of control to
That's
take
right.
a joke?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. People do that.
Yeah. Comedy is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the best. It's the most entertaining.
Well,
If
maybe
I have
this is
nothing
what you're going to do after body strongman shit.
Set,
Yeah,
set
yeah.
goals. There we go.
Yeah.
Setting goals.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to do when I was young.
Really?
Yeah. But I grew up my mother was a single mom on welfare with 3 boys. So to get out of that, it was
Yeah.
a big risk to try to pursue it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I
It's never
joined the
too late,
military.
man.
With that. Yeah, exactly.
I
It's
smell
definitely
something
not.
being manifested now.
That's right. Here we go.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'll definitely. I'm
all
going to come
coming
out and do
together.
it.
Yes.
I for sure am going to come try
It'll
it
be fun.
once.
And I think we can like learn from each other and encourage each other.
Yeah.
Do these
Just make
hard
sure you
things.
roast me and talk shit while I'm doing it, and I'll do it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to talk shit too much. You're kind of bigger than me.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, nobody's going to heckle you. That's not really fun.
Yes, they will. Oh, you're yeah, that's right, eh? Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm excited about your recent successes and really looking forward to see what you do next.
I'm more excited about your comedy show. I'm not
Oh
gonna lie.
man,
Yeah.
it's there's so many good things, and the world can be so negative and so scary. But this is what I love about this. It's coming in with people that are like driven and
Yeah.
excited and doing things, and they're pouring their all into something, and hopefully it inspires some young people. I remember I think it only had like 2 episodes out, and I was at a concert down in Digby one night, or Smith Cove, and this young guy comes up to me. He says, "Man, I love the podcast. He's like 22 years old. He said, it makes me want to do something with my life so I can be on there."
Oh, really?
That's what he said.
Sweet.
Well, but people even around here are
That's
capable
super cool.
of doing cool things.
Anybody is.
Find something
Yeah.
passionate about.
Yeah.
Go at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People doing cool shit.
Yeah. Interesting people doing
Best
interesting
way to
shit.
success is
Shit,
to
yeah.
dedicate yourself to something, right?
Yeah,
sure.
find some, and even if it's not your thing, like you can learn your structure and your discipline and your focus and your work ethic there, and you can transfer that to something else.
Totally.
Like
Yep.
Arnold being a bodybuilder and
Yep.
becoming an actor and becoming a politician, like
Yep.
it's all transferable.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the prime example with
Yeah.
anything.
Like I tell my son's 19, I say, just he wonders where he should be in life. I'm like, just work very hard at whatever you're doing now.
Yeah.
Because you learn discipline and focus and structure now.
Yeah.
You can take that and apply it to anything.
And
Yeah.
don't waste your losses. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
waste your
big.
losses. That's
Yeah, that
big.
goes that goes a long way. for sure. You can go two directions with that, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to see what's next, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. This is fun.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
awesome.
for coming in.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe, or if you'd like to support us, please visit Refound Brewing Company at 573 Main Street, Kingston, or buy our product wherever it's available, including our Foolishly Optimistic IPA at your local NSS. Thank you.